Everyone, welcome back to the #1 TV show on the block, Talk for Life, live on the Unilag Theatre TV. So today, as you know, on this show, we are always giving you the details, and we don't just give you the deets, we are diving into the lives of the people who are going through whatever topic it is we decide to talk on this show. So for today, our topic is on drug abuse, and we are going to be having different segments on today's show. We're going to be bringing in the professionals, we're going to be bringing in the victims, we're going to be bringing in the people whose lives have been affected by this pandemic. So before we dive right into it, I want you all to fix your eyes on the screen as we get into a little documentary that we have put together just for you. Thank you. Okay, welcome back from that short break that we took, and I do hope that the documentary in which we put together for you has been able to educate you even a little bit more on what we already know as drug abuse. So the basic, what is drug abuse? Drug abuse is the misuse of drugs, be it prescribed or illegal substances. It is the misuse of them. And today we have two professionals in the house to best educate us. So for the sake of time, I will be diving right into our questions so that we can move on to the next segment. So Dr. Adetoro, ladies first, as I'd like to say, I'll be asking you, as a neurosurgeon, you have seen these people, you see them coming to the hospital hand in hand, you walk with them, you work to treat them. What is one common side effect that you feel you have seen on, as neurosurgeons, you work with the brain, the nerves, what is some of the side effects that you see with these people?
Thank you very much for that question. So to start with, I want us to know that for side effects in this thing, we actually have two types. The short-term side effect and the long-term side effect. More so, for each of these drugs that are abused, they have various side effects. And this is because we have different degrees and different ingredients that make up these drugs.
Yeah.
So to start from the basis, I also want to reiterate that we have soft drug, we have the hard drugs. The soft drugs are over-the-counter drugs, paracetamol, pain relief, and things like that. They are soft, but they can be abused. And also we have the hard drugs, the likes of the marijuana, the cocaine, and the likes. They are hard, as the name implies, yes, and thus they can be abused. All right, so an overview of all the side effects that these drugs have on us. When we talk about the short-term side effects, then we'll be looking at hallucination, we'll be looking at vomiting, we'll be looking at violent behavior, we'll be looking at some of the victims. You see that they have yellow tips on their fingers. Some of their fingers have yellow tips. So those are actually the things that you could watch out for to know that, oh, okay, this person is definitely, oh, I see that some people are checking the next person today. You will know that, okay, this person is abusing substance. And yes, the long-term side effects, yeah, it starts with lungs infection. Yes, we've had various issues at the hospital. We see that some of them, their lungs get infected. And yes, the one that concerns me majorly has to do with the brain, mental disorder. Yes, it's a long-term side effect. Most of them, they eventually have mental disorder, critical ones, and the ones that might still be mild. And yes, lastly, and unfortunately, some actually lead to death. So we have some of them that eventually die because of multiple health conditions that are not being attended to on time. Yes, so those are the side effects.
Thank you very much, Dr. Terry. Dr. Fortune, this question is directed to you. We want to ask that, okay, you're a psychologist. Let's just paint a little picture. So peradventure, I am a parent. I'm coming in with my child to say, okay, this is my concern as a parent concerning my child in regards to the abuse of drugs, or in regards to the fact that I feel my child might have become an addict, and the child is so adamant on the fact that no, nothing like that is happening. And as a psychologist, when you assess said patients, what are some of the symptoms that you feel like it is common in every patient that you have seen? Could you just enlighten us on some of that?
So first of all, I would just like to clear up that you do not see somebody as a non-professional and look at them and say that you're a drug abuser. It is very, very wrong. Because some people may actually look like that. Some people may have anorexia and all of that. But as a psychologist that has been trained with all of these things, this knowledge, I have categorized some of these things into different categories, basically. So first of all, you have the physical signs. If you notice your ward or your child starts to lose weight all of a sudden so drastically that you cannot even understand what is going on. Yes, you actually need to sit down with your child and understand what is going on. You need to have a professional along with you. If your child comes back from wherever and they have blood red eyes, like really red eyes, bloodshot eyes, you need to check on your child, because those are the physical signs that you can see that your child is a drug abuser. Secondly, they have behavioral signs. If your child was usually so outgoing, so free-flowing with everybody,
so happy,
but all of a sudden just closes up and doesn't want to talk to anybody anymore, just starts locking themselves in their room, start being so body negative about themselves, you should understand that something might be going on that's relating to drugs.
You need to check on
another thing that, well, as a parent, you should understand your children's financial status also, because a lot of people who use drugs, they end up borrowing money to fund their lifestyle, because I will not lie to you, drugs are expensive. And they always, when you have this craving hunger for it all of the time, you feel like you always want it. You would do anything to empty your account, sell property, anything you can. Those are the three categories. Those are three signs that you should look out for when your child wants to use.
Thank you very much, Dr. Iselen. Thank you. Okay, so one last thing that we would like to ask, and it's for both of you. So as a neurosurgeon, as a psychologist, I'd like to ask that, I'm sure you guys have two different processes of treating this in the hospital, physical one-on-one, speaking with this victims. Please, could you just put us through a little bit, just give us a little bit of the process or the approach in which you take to treat this being?
Yeah, okay. So the treatment, the process of treatment are actually categorized into 4 stages. So we have the first one, which is the assessment. The assessment at this point is done by psychiatrists, by psychologists like Dr. Fortune and his likes. Yeah, so they do the assessment to ascertain the kind of substance, I beg your pardon, that that the victim
is making use
using,
of. Yeah.
Yes. And they likewise, when they get to assess the type and ascertain the type of substance, they tend to measure the effect that's had on such person. Yeah, and after the assessment, they can now send such person to people like us in the hospital. And here we go to the next stage that has to do with the detox. That is the detoxification. At that
getting
point,
the drugs out of their
we want
system.
to inject it out of the victim. So, but then we need to reiterate that there is actually no cure.
For drug abuse.
Yes, for drug abuse. It is a lifelong and intentional treatment.
It's a battle, constant battle.
It's an intentional one. So after this second stage, we move to the third, and which is like the most important and most necessary, which is the rehab. It is at this time that the victim is now well, there are different types, you know. Some might actually be inpatient, outpatient. Some might have to be secluded. Some might still stay with their family while we do all of the assessments. So at this point, there is a drastic reduction in the intake
of drugs. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you, Dr. Adetoro. Thank you, Dr. Iselen. So if you have any questions whatsoever for our professionals, please do not forget, our viewers, to send your questions to the number on the screen, and we will be sure to help you in whatever way that we can. So let's go on a very short break, and when we come back, we will be having questions from our live audience.
Dehydration can strike at any moment, catching you off guard. Even when your long day activities take its toll and leaving you exhausted, a simple gesture changes everything. And in those moments, a friend knows exactly what you need. Introducing Unilag Water, the perfect companion for your active lifestyle, keeping you back in the game. Nature created it pure, clean, and refreshing, but we bottled it. So why settle for anything less? Choose Unilag Water and taste the difference for yourself.
Question will be taken from Mr. Odun Ayo. Please do give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fortune, Dr. Toro. Thank you so much. Thank you for that educative session. Now, my question is directed to Dr. Fortune. Please, what measures can parents take to educate their children on the dangers of drug abuse?
I have seen situations where parents would want to wait for too long, and at the end of the day, peer pressure would have gotten to the children before the parents can. So always begin early. Number 2, be as plain as possible. Do not hide any of your words and try to say, oh, they're too young, they don't want to hear this, they can't hear this. It will always lead to terrible things if you do not tell them plainly. Always tell them as it is. Tell them that no sugarcoating anything. Tell them that drug abuse is bad. This is what drug abuse can do to you. As a parent, be the best role model that you can be. You cannot be smoking marijuana in your house, drinking alcohol bottles every single day, and expect your child to come out not a drug abuser.
Wow.
Children grow from society. They learn from society. Whatever you do is what they will learn. So that's. I hope that answers your question.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you so much. So we have come to the end of this segment, and after the short break that we're going to take, we're going to be meeting with the parents of the victims. Thank you. Welcome back, viewers, and for this segment we have the parents here to tell us about their experience. So Mr. and Mrs. Badmus had a daughter who in her secondary school ended up being a victim of drug abuse and had to go through the whole rehabilitation process. So they are here to tell us about their struggles as parents, how supportive they had to be, what exactly it was or it is that they had to go through as parents whose word was going through this. So welcome, Mrs. Please do introduce yourself.
Thank you, Orst. I am Mrs. Badmos. Indeed, it was a tough journey. Nurturing a child that got into drug abuse. You know, Yoruba would always say one adage that Omo buruku ni fun tiye, omo dida, omo to sunwon, ohun ni ti baba e. And for the sake of our viewers, I'm going to say the good child is for the father, while the bad child is for the mother. It was a very devastating period for me and the father, whereby it wasn't easy. Going into the room, and she's always locking up herself in the room. She wasn't that kind of child. She was always present in church, loved in the neighborhood, behaving normal. And it all started when she started stealing from us.
Wow. Sorry, ma'am.
So devastating. But as a good parent, especially a good mother who always wants to watch out for his or her own child, I deem it fit to always look out for her, always on her trail, even when she tells us she's going to school and all of that. So,
please, can you tell us some of the signs that you saw that you were like, something's going on with my child, something that just called you that I need to pay more attention to this young lady? Can you please tell us some of them?
Yes, I think the very first one was when she started stealing from us. Yes, she started stealing from us, locking up herself in the room. We get to knock the door, she doesn't open up, and by the time she gets to open the door, we tend to perceive some foul smell. So we weren't too sure until we caught her red-handed. You know, substance through the nose, through the mouth, and that was when it got done on us, like, oh, this is what this girl is actually into.
Wow.
So that's...
Thank God.
Yeah.
Mr. Badmos. So, one fun fact, I don't want to call it fun, but let's just say, one fact about Mr. Badmos is he used to be, I want to say in his past life, in the situation his daughter was in at that point, growing up in the streets, you know, living his life basically on the trail before, like he said, he found his beautiful wife. He was also engaging in drug and substance abuse. So, Mr. Badmos, my question to you today is, sir, do you think or do you feel like the life you lived, one way or the other, influenced your daughter? Be it because you didn't tell her about the type of life you used to live before, because like you said, she didn't know that side of you. She just knows about you being married to this beautiful woman here. Do you feel like that had a role to play in your daughter ending up in this situation?
I agree to you. So, like you talked before, now what I did do in the past till I meet my beautiful wife here, we can't transform, make me who I be today. But like they talk, what you don't do in the past will still meet you for front. So you get some kind of things where you know if you just avoid. You understand? So that's what you've been.
So you think, say, the thing where you do affect them now? Now we think they talk, Abi?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Badmos, see, one thing I would like for you to take home, if you don't even take up anything from these places, don't blame yourself for where your daughter is or where she was. Because one, like we established, she did not know that you even lived that life. People would make mistakes, all right? So the only advice I can say is, going forward, you just try to be more open. Let her know that it is not some, should I say, mistake, or it's not just her that makes this type of mistake. Let her know. I feel like your experience might be able to help her, you know, in this process of recovery and all. So before we release you, or before we end this segment, we'd like to take a question from our audience. I hope that's fine.
That's fine.
No problem. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much for this discussion of the day. It's a pressing issue in our society, and I really love that we are discussing it on this show today. My question to the parents is, what advice would they give to the family or other parents who are facing this situation? Like, what would they advise them to do?
Okay. Mrs. Badmos, Mr. Badmos, who's taking this one?
Before I hand over to my husband. The very first way out is early cognizance. Like, you have to know your child. You have to be your child's best friend, just like Dr. Iselene. Yes, being a good role model to your children is the key, the number one key. Thank you. So my husband.
Like waiting my wife talk, yeah. Waiting I go add and say for my place. The talk say anything you buy ready lati tomo, come be omo. But to bat mo pe o le she, you can go ahead.
Daddy, please transit out.
It means say if you never ready train pikin, make you not even born the pikin at all.
Yes.
But if you know say you don't ready and you get that time to take train pikin, if you go ahead, because waiting pikin need for this life, not time.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Badness. Please let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing your experience. I know it's a lot to come here and talk about your child. This is somebody that you trained. This is somebody you carried for 9 months, and we really appreciate. And I really do hope that their story has been able to help both the audience and our viewers online on how to better manage their children. Thank you. So we'll go on this short break. When we come back, it's the last segment of the show. Welcome back from that really short break, and right now we are in the midst of two drug abuse heroes. We have Miss Sarah Adams and Mr. Ola Emmanuel. Please do give them a round of applause. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today. We know you could be anywhere else. We know you could decide to keep your story a secret, but you have decided to come here to educate us on how it has affected you, your life, just to help us to really understand it here. And that's what we do on this show, Talk for Life. We go into the details, and we really want to say thank you. So let's just dive straight into it. Our first question will be for you, Miss Sarah. So we want to know, how did you know it was time to seek help?
So first off, I would like to thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for coming.
So I think I always knew I had a problem, but I wasn't ready to accept or find the solution to the problem.
What do you mean by you always knew you had a problem?
So I started taking fentanyl. It's a synthetic opioid that is
painkillers.
Yes, 100 times more effective than morphine and the other drug. So
how did you get into that? What led to you getting?
I had a surgery, and coming back to school, it was really difficult trying to talk to my friends, cope in class, and just get back into society. And I was also being bullied at the same time. So at first it was just to dull the pain, and then later it now became like my coping mechanism.
So it was prescribed first?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it was prescribed. And then I started abusing it. I started taking it more. And it wasn't until I had more than close to 2 milligrams where I almost got diagnosed with hypoxia. That was when I really had to sit down and address this problem. And I think that was when I allowed myself to come out of that zone and speak to someone, speak to the people around me, because they're always there to help, but it's just that we don't see them most times. So I listened to them, I spoke to them, and they were ready to listen, and that was just how I was able to face my problem head on.
Thank
Yes.
God. Thank God for those people.
Thank
you so much for opening up about that. So, Mr. Ola, over to you. We want to know if you could tell us some of the challenges that you faced during this period. How did it affect you? Some of the struggles, the people around you. What was it like being in this situation?
All right, thank you for having me.
No problem.
So I will say one of the challenges is craving. You know, when like you are used to something and you stopped. So there will be a time I want to go back, like I will crave for it.
The urge to want to take it more.
And for that time I have to stop. Like when there will be a time to die, like I'll always alone, like and I just manage myself to be with people.
What did those urges, what did they lead you to do? What did they cause you to do? You know, how did you satisfy? Where did you get money to buy the drug? All those kind of things.
I understand. Yeah. There was a time I stole from my mom. Like I have to. That time, like I need to get stuff, so I have to store from my mom. And I can remember when I was in school, I have to lie to my dad that I need money. Like I use my school fees money to buy the drugs then. And again, I feel like it's my friends too. Like you know, when you roll with people, like they are
your
the
social circle.
Yeah, so they are the one that lead me to those things. And I must say I regret everything. Like,
we thank God that you're finally out. Can you tell us how you came out of it? Because it seems like there was a lot of factors. How were you able to pull yourself out and say, you know what, this thing, I don't want to do it anymore? How could you tell us?
I make sure I'm like, I don't stay indoor again. I don't like just stay like
alone.
Be alone. I work with people and I make new friends. Like I change my campus of friends. So it helps me a lot.
Well, we thank God for that. So just to end this off, is there any piece of advice that you would like to give to people out there who are going through this? And this is, I really like the fact that you guys are able to be on here, because it's not a thing of, oh, I'm a professional or I'm a this. I mean, these are the people who have gone through these things. These are the people who are going through it. So is there anything that you'd like to tell people who were in your shoes? Could you please just give us a little bit of advice?
So I would like to say that there are sometimes you cannot help but feel really sad, and there are sometimes when you just get really depressed and you are going through so much. But I'm a Christian, so I advise you take God seriously and also reach out. There is one person out of the billion people we have on earth. There is always one person that is willing to hear whatever it is that you are going through. So make sure you reach out so that you don't stay in that deep black hole forever.
Thank you.
Yeah, for me, I would say they should seek help. Like when you know you are going through something, talk to people, and from there they can help you. Like if you talk to someone, like they will be a way that will help you out. And again, don't stay alone. When you know that you are used to something, don't stay alone. Just make sure you are with people. So
thank you very much. It was really nice having you on the show. Please do give them a round of applause. So there you have it. I really do hope that today's program has been able to help us to understand deeply the trauma that the people going through drug abuse face, understand everything or most of the things concerning drug abuse. It will be able to help you as a family member, help you as a victim going through it, and it will be able to educate you on the things in which we should do, the incentive, the precautions that we ought to take in order to be able to curb this pandemic. And we just want to say thank you once again to our guests for coming here. Thank you. So before we round up, we're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we will be announcing the winner of the last game show. Stay tuned. Once again, we'd like to say a big thank you to our viewers online and to our live audience. You guys have been so beautiful, and we thank you for joining us once again. So before we come to the end of this segment, we would want to remind you, for you to be a winner on this show, for you to even qualify, just answer the questions on your screen and send your answer to the number on the screen for you to qualify to be a winner. And to announce this week's winner, more like last week's winner for the show, we have Mr. Jerry Miles. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you. You know what to do if you also want to be a winner on our show, and we want to say a beautiful thank you so much, and we see you same time next week. Goodbye.